Hello, my name is Alexa Nelson, and this is my presentation for cognitive psychology and neuroscience and the career fair. And I will be starting my presentation now. So, for skills and knowledge that you need for this field, it requires strong cognitive knowledge, critical thinking, and research skills. And you need to have a strong understanding of cognitive processes like memory, learning, decision making, and how the brain supports all these functions. You also need strong analytics and statistical skills to interpret research data. Having effective communication for problem solving and ethical research practices are also very important for working with clients and for collaborating with professionals. That's very important in this field, especially when you are working with other people in your team, in your field, to kind of collaborate on your knowledge. So, cognitive psychology, starting out with the difference between cognitive psychology and then neuroscience. Cognitive psychology studies mental processes involving like how people think, learn, remember, how they solve problems, make decisions, and perceive the world. And it focuses on understanding behavior and mental functions through experiments and cognitive theories. That's supported by Myers. Date was 2022. And cognitive psychologists are primarily interested in explaining how people process information and use that knowledge in everyday life. Whereas in neuroscience, it focuses more on brain structure and the functioning of the brain. So it focuses on biological foundations of behavior by studying the structure of the brain, the nervous system, and the neurological pathways. And then neuroscientists use tools such as functional magnetic resonance imaging, which is fMRI, and then also EEG, electroencephalography. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but it is another brain imaging technique to examine how neural activity influences cognition, emotions, and behavior. That is supported by Paulus. The date is 2022 or 2021 on that date. So that explains the biological mechanisms that make those processes possible. Moving on to careers in cognitive psychology. First one I'm going to be talking about is a clinical neuropsychologist. This specializes in understanding how brain functions affects thinking, memory, behavior, and emotions. And they assess and they treat individuals with people that have traumatic brain injuries, they have stroke, dementia, epilepsy, and other neurological disorders that stem from brain functioning. And it uses cognitive assessments and evidence-based interventions to kind of figure those all out. And then how it's kind of changed over time. Definitely technology has a major impact on imaging, neuroimaging. So there's a lot of advances in neuroimaging with computerized cognitive testing and neuroscience research. It has improved, and the accuracy of diagnosis and treatment planning has also improved, which is really good. The next career I'll be talking about is scientific researcher. Scientific researchers investigate how the brain and cognitive processes influence behavior. The researchers design experiments, they analyze data, and they contribute to developing new treatments and interventions for neurological and psychological disorders. So they're kind of doing the testing. And then over time, this career has expanded beyond just traditional lab research. It includes computational modeling, artificial intelligence. Now we have machine learning and large-scale brain imaging techniques. That is also supported by Paulus, year 2021. So the value in this research, the value is super important, especially with neurological functioning and like diagnoses and stuff. That's all super important. So common research methods include behavioral experiments, which measures cognitive performance. That's going to be more on the cognitive psychology side. And then the brain imaging techniques like fMRIs and EEGs, which examine brain activity during those different tasks. That is going to be more on the neuroscience side. And then researchers also use computational models to better understand decision making. These methods improve the diagnosis and treatment of neurological and psychological disorders while advancing our understanding of human condition and how everything functions, how everything's working in the brain. Also have a reference page that is included in my slideshow. But yeah, thank you.